Hey guys, welcome back to Science Skills and Life Skills with Vikya. This is a continuation of the presentation skills series. In the last video, we got a basic idea of what presentation skills are, and we also learned the first two topics, which is focus on your objectives and identifying your audience. So in this video, we'll be learning about topics 3 and 4, which is building your presentation structure and designing your presentation slides. So building your presentation structure. Now you can begin putting your presentation together after identifying your audience. But don't start by rushing to gather content. Ask any presenter and he or she would tell you that every presentation needs a plan or a blueprint before gathering content for it. So your presentation structure is like an architectural tour. The structure of your presentation has three parts to it: opening, body, and closing. Your presentation's opening should state your title and overall theme. Sometimes you'll start with an introduction or a story, something to warm up your audience. When you do, make sure it leads directly into your main idea. Once we relate the opening to an architectural tour, it's like in the start of the architectural tour, we get to see the entire building and review it. And the body is where you move through your ideas in a logical order, topic by topic, which is equivalent to looking at every room in the building and explaining it to the audience. And the closing. In this section, you restate your main theme and briefly review your agenda. This helps people remember the big picture and the steps you took to get there. Again, once we relate it to the architectural tour, the audience gets to see the entire building and review it. How will your objectives and audience shape your presentation structure? So, we learned how important it is to identify your objectives and your audience. So, these details impact the structure of your presentation and the decisions you make to enable you to clearly state your theme during your opening. So, they help determine which ideas to include and which to leave out. And they help order your agenda items so that they build logically to prove your point. And another question that many presenters have is how much information should we include? So, the short answer is include only what is needed. Some presenters think that the more information you put in the presentation, the more your audience will understand. And that is completely incorrect because if you put a lot of information, it just weakens your message and blurs it. Therefore, only include information which is needed. Here are the key points to remember for topic 3. Structure your presentation to include an opening, body, and closing. Consider the impact of objectives and audience on the structure of your presentation. The amount of information to include in your presentation should include only what's needed to reach your goal. If you think some people might be interested in more details, give them additional information later in an email or even a handout. Now we come to topic 4, designing a presentation slide. Many presenters use decks or slides to support their presentations. When presenting, you might decide that you need a deck to guide your discussion. Slides can be useful in face to face meetings and they're certainly required for virtual meetings. But designing them is not as simple as pasting information directly from Google and inserting it onto software like PowerPoint or Keynote. Several things can go wrong with your deck. Common problems include the following: complicated diagrams, too many bullet points, lack of white space, small unreadable fonts, slides that list everything the presenter says, distracting animation, etc. So, as you can see, topic 4 is very much related to topic 3. So, here is how to improve slides. Turn headings into headlines. Use relevant graphics. Show key ideas on the slide. Split complex content over multiple slides. Use a readable font. And when you're presenting online, don't be afraid to create a larger number of slides that remain on the screen for a shorter time. In essence, it is better to create a large number of slides which will take shorter time to present than putting a lot of information in very few slides. So another common question is, should you distribute the deck to the audience? So slide decks are for guiding and presenting, not reading. Sharing a deck overloads your audience with information, which will reduce the value of the presentation and they won't be focusing on you as a presenter. Instead, you can do one of the two things. Write up your findings in a short white paper Illustrator with just a few key graphics from your slides and share that with your audience. Or, if you don't have the time to create a white paper, then cut your deck down, removing all the build and transition slides so that just your key points remain, and share that cut down version. So, either way, you should make sure that you don't distribute the deck to the audience. So, here are the key points to remember for topic 4. Follow these tips for designing effective presentation decks. Use headlines or complete sentences as titles. Use relevant images. Avoid too much text. Use a readable font size. Break complex diagrams into multi slide builds. Share a white paper listing your key points. And always remember that your audience will remember much more with graphics than text. But that also doesn't mean that only graphics will do. You should have a combination of text and graphics. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I hope the session was useful to you. Thank you. Bye.